Hello, everybody, and welcome to our talk about the Work from Home League. My name is Sam Cooke. I'm the MD and co-founder of Esports Insider and also the co-founder of the Work from Home League. I'm here with Nicolo today, who I will let introduce himself.
Hey everyone, my name is Nicolo. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Platform, esports gaming restaurant bar in central London. It's a concept that is a bit different from the usual gaming cafe you can find. It's the latest console gaming with the most premium F&B experience, and I'm also the co-founder of Work from Home League, an initiative that we launched last year in collaboration with Esports Insider, where companies compete against each other online and hopefully very soon offline as well at Platform.
Exactly. So what is the Work from Home League? So you can go to workfromhomeleague.com and find out all about it. But what it is an opportunity for, it's a corporate league. So it's where, as Nicolo said, it's where companies play companies. And we set it up as where our relative businesses are positioned. Platform, as Nicolo explained, is the esports and gaming themed bar restaurant, so a venue. And us at ESI, we are somewhat the home of the business of esports globally. So what we found at ESI is understandably still, even now, sometimes difficult for new brands and new companies from across industries to really understand what esports is and how they can fit into the competitive gaming ecosystem, and just how their employees company-wide can begin to understand the space and where they might fit in. So that's where the Work from Home League comes in a fun way, right? And what the Work from Home League is all about, as it says at the top, is that it bridges both the esports and the corporate world together into an esports tournament, which is open for all corporations to enter, regardless of skill. And the regardless of skill point is quite an important one, as Nicolo and I both found when we competed in seasons 1 and 2.
Correct. And to add to that really quickly is also the fact that ESI highlighted this, and then when we discussed this together, we highlighted that company were renting the space to understand gaming and esports, and just do a presentation, a classic presentation, a panel is not enough. Usually for team building events, people want tournaments. So this is something just to add to what Sam said about understanding the esports world for corporates, but also how we can also work internally in their companies, how we can enhance team building while in lockdown, obviously, and also with all the mental health issues that can go around it.
Exactly right. And the original concept obviously was to have it at Platform, and have it Platform, which is in London, again as a reminder, and have it as something that people could do on a Tuesday after work. And that still is very much a key and central part of what the Work from Home League will be. But naturally, with everything that happened in 2020, it became very focused on the online experience. And as Nicolo said, it became very much focused on an offering to companies for team building and upkeeping team morale as well, right? And we like to think we did a really good job, that we had seasons 1 and 2 throughout last year, and season 3, which we'll get to in a bit, is going to be taking place throughout 2021. So these, as you see here, are the 4 pillars of the league, and what keeps us grounded in how we go about expanding the league as we do and as we grow. And they are connective, experience, inclusive, and understanding. And the key one of those is very much a key one is inclusive. And as we said, it's all about, we have a game for you regardless of skill. The vibe of the tournament is competitive, but the other way around actually, casual but competitive. So we have casters, all the games are shown on Twitch. It's done very professionally, but also it's not a top tier esports competition, that's for sure. And as such, we don't have a prize pool. So the teams aren't fighting for money. They're fighting for, it's the bragging rights, it's ultimately the fun, but there are some great prizes in there as well. So yeah, we'll get on to these slides, and we've talked a bit about who we are, but Nicolo, maybe you want to say a little bit more about Platform and the plans for Platform going forward.
Yeah, so just very quickly, so Platform, it's an idea that came up in 2017 from my brother, who's been a gamer since he's born, more or less. Quite struggled with studies, but really thought that gaming was the future. Always talked to me about it. And when he came, me and my brother, we are from Switzerland. When we came to London, he thought that he might find a safe space where he can meet other gamers. And actually, when he came to London, he didn't really find out a place that was kind of safe, cool, and nice. Usually it's a bit of stereotype, but it's, dark places with neon lights, with a few computers, and that's it, and you can order food from outside. And I think the concepts around London were not very nice for, I would say, even my brother called him a core gamer, but I think he's also a casual gamer. And this is where, he wants to meet other, passionate people around it. So this is how the idea came up, is about, getting all the casual gamer, the kind of nostalgic gamers coming back to kind of a fun experience. And also we find out that in London, competitive socializing was becoming big. So it's a bar restaurant with an activity. So that's how we came up with Platform. It's a social gaming space with an F&B, premium F&B offering. It's mainly focuses on console, PS4 and Nintendo Switch at the moment, and with a full kitchen and bar. So we serve the premium cocktails, premium beer, and also other stuff. We've been open since beginning of 2019, had to close, unfortunately, beginning of 2020. We've been actually more closed than open, but we are very confident with the future, with the vaccine rollout in the UK. So we're going to reopen in May, and hopefully open a second one by the end of the year.
Dave, I'm very excited myself for it to reopen once again. It's my own hub in central London, that's for sure. I still remember, Nicolo, when we first met, and you showed me through the lookbook for it. It's very exciting. So yeah, thanks for that.
I can't wait too.
And a bit more about ESI. So yeah, I'm the co-founder of Esports Insider. We're based in London, but with a second office up in Manchester. We are across three pillars, which are media, events, and Connect, which is our agency arm. So for which we're best known is still the media side of the business. So esportsinsider.com, where we cover the business of esports globally, day to day, whether that's news pieces, interviews, features, and such, with podcast, video, the works, and also the Esports Journal, the long form esports business content magazine, which is available in English and in Spanish as well. The events, obviously we host the B2B events and have done since 2017, when we started hosting them over at Fnatic in East London. They've since grown to events in New York, of course, in London, in Manchester, and LA and elsewhere as well. And we've big plans for those from the end of this year and through next year for both North America and expanding out into Asia as well. And then lastly, we have Connect, which is our agency arm. So that's brokerage, campaign activation, and consultancy and advisory for the esports space. So you can see us and you've heard from us. So I don't think we need to talk about our own personal backgrounds, but yes, Nicolo and I are the founders of the Work From Home League. So Nicolo, maybe you want to talk a bit about the first seasons, and seasons 1 and 2, which we hosted last year. And these are, some of those numbers from our very first debut season, which seems like both very recently and a very long time ago, does it not?
Yeah, correct. So to come back a bit about how we came up with this idea really quickly is, me and Sam have been kind of trying to understand. We've been very focused on corporates, making sure corporates, are integrated to the esports world. And we tried different, events, panels, discussion, etc. But, we thought also about tournament. It was just about, you know, how we can make it work operationally. I think the lockdowns was an opportunity to start this. So we, you know, straight away when the lockdown was announced, we said, okay, let's organize it. So we didn't wait we didn't spare any time, and we started with the first season in May 2020. It was around 2 games, so CSGO and FIFA. We were kind of we knew our clients, so we thought, okay, let's go on 2 safe game where we know that our clients will definitely, you know, register. It was quite successful. We've been oversubscribed quite fast. Obviously, the first season was free. We had a big partner that was Razer providing a lot of different prizes, and also NobleShare joining after that. So it was kind of a good way to attract customer, to attract our corporate clients. And also very quickly, you know, teams such as, you know, Barclays joined, so also brought a lot of momentum to the first league, for the first season. So you can see them. Now on the second season, after what we learned from the first season in terms of operation, FIFA was kind of very difficult to broadcast. So we decided to move to Rocket League. It was even more successful because I think Rocket League is even more casual than FIFA, and also bring a bit more fun to the game, as it is, you know, putting racing and football together. We managed to get, I think, as big a name as the first season, been oversubscribed even faster, and managed to get also our first, you know, main partner, that was Hyrule Capital. That's been kind of the main sponsor of the season, and you know, managed to be on the front page of Twitch UK, and also to raise you know, more than £2,000 this season for special effects. So we raised effectively more than £3,500 now for special effect. That's been a great partner to kind of make the league even more even funnier, and also to kind of participate to a good cause that is special effects, and that we also care a lot, me and Sam.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, special effects, yeah, for those unaware, it's a UK-based video games focused charity which enables people that would otherwise be unable to participate as easily in gaming. They modify consoles and such. There's an eye tracking version of FIFA, I think it is, which is amazing. But yeah, special effects do a lot of fantastic work to essentially allow and enable as many people as possible to be able to play video games. So yeah, really, really great charity that
same core values as us. So that's, you know, something that we have also kind of worked really hard to get when we get partners and stuff like that into the league.
Exactly. And so yeah, so seasons 1 and 2, as Nicolo talked you through, the growth was considerable. Season 1 was very much a test case, testing the waters. Like, we've had this idea of how we can better bring corporates and big brands and companies worldwide into the space. And we had companies compete from over in the US, Control Freak. Naturally, mostly it was Europe-centric, time zones-wise and such, but we've had a lot of different types of companies get involved so far, and we've more confirmed for season 3. So yeah, season 1, proof of concept, I suppose, proof that our idea wasn't crazy, which was pleasing and people liked it. And then season 2, we've gotten a bit more serious, learned what works and what doesn't. And yeah, we believe that we're fairly well placed for season 3. So you can even see our fun little characters there, kindly created for us by DLC Studios, the design agency that we work with. So yeah, we've really liked the design as well, and working with DLC has been great. Fantastic. So yeah, so season 3 is now upon us, and season 3 will take place throughout this year, and we will have 3 campaigns. So first of which is the spring campaign, which will take place throughout May and be, of course, purely online for now. But then we will have an autumn campaign, which will be at platform itself. And then for the winter campaign, we'll be back to fully online once again. So for season 3 as well, we thought we'd test ourselves, and we're adding a 3rd game this time around. So we'll have tournaments in CSGO, Rocket League, and for the first time, Brawlhalla as well. As you can see at the bottom, we've companies involved such as Barclays, the bank, a staff team from Guild, the esports team backed by David Beckham, Luckbox and Rivalry, so 2 bookmakers, 2 betting companies, which again is something that we're really keen to have as a part of the Work from Home League, is to build in these corporate rivalries, right, and make light of and make well, work with that through the content as well. So it's great that we've got both of those in. Game developers wise, Square Enix, Frontier have also confirmed for season 3. So yeah, it's definitely looking like it will be our best yet. But yeah, Nicolo spoke to this a little bit previously as well, but Special Effects, the charity we mentioned, we raised collectively £3,500 through seasons 1 and 2, and we'll be raising more money for them once again throughout season 3. So yeah, they do some incredible work. So I really urge everyone listening to go and check out everything they do. What's next? I mean, Nicolo, maybe I'll throw it back to you if you want to talk a bit about the wider and grander plans for the expansion of WFH.
Yeah, I think so. Last year, like we said, proof of concept and continuity was kind of the motto. So the first season proved definitely that was very successful. Second one, we managed to bring sponsors in, so brought us even more confidence to continue. So we thought, let's do a season per year. We have a certain number of campaigns. This year we decided to do 3 campaigns for the 3rd season, and the main focus is to kind of bring also the gaming side of things. So esports is the competitive side, but I think mainly it's come from out of video games, and I think we've seen at platform and on the league that people are asking more for fun games rather than for very core games. So that's why we brought Brawlhalla, and I think Rocket League has been a success, and I think we're going to try to bring more of those games. We thought about Mario Kart, but it's still very difficult in terms of production side of things. So we need to balance a fun league and also a convenient league that it makes everyone easy at home to play, because obviously platform is going to be available for the tournament, but it's not mandatory to come physically, because we understand that people have other priorities. And actually that's a bit of the magic of the league. So you can you don't need to be physically present. You can choose between being online or at home or at the office or at platform. So the plan was to be a bit more kind of ambitious this year. 3 games, 3 campaigns to give a bit more appetite to sponsors, so they get more out of it. It's not just one-off thing. It's more kind of a continuity or around a year. So this is kind of the objective this year, is to mix online, physical, adding a game and get a bigger continuity. And then for the years after is to kind of solidify it, really create a brand, and maybe also to kind of integrate to companies, and also to go outside of the UK. That we've managed to do in the first season, that we try to not to do in the second season, and maybe now in the future we can do even better. So this is kind of
exactly
the project. Maybe you can want to add something on that, Sam.
Yeah, just to tag on to the end of that, I guess. I think the longer term plans and vision for it, for sure, as you alluded to there, I think there's so much potential for major corporations to better integrate competitive gaming into their own structures, right? Like whether that's how to, as we were saying, like the Work from Home League is we believe, of course, a great outlet for team building, maintaining team morale and such. And so companies send their teams out, and I remember Control Freak saying, right, like they had their player do really well, and there were loads of the Control Freak staff were watching on Twitch and cheering them on, which is great, and that's what it's all about. But I think there's so much more that companies can do to internalize that and bring that into their own structures, and so it can be the marketing team versus the sales team, right? And like that determines who is the team that these companies can send along to the Work from Home League. But yeah, that is for the Q&A, which we're fast approaching. That is something that we would love to discuss, and anybody listening that is interested in asking questions about or floating ideas about how they can bring esports and gaming into their companies and incorporate that into their structures. That is what the future, I believe, I think we believe, is that's a very key part of the future of the Work from Home League. So it's essentially the white labeling and how we can work with companies.
100%. I think it's just
their own.
Yeah, I think, sorry, just to educate people. I think in the end, this is kind of, I think, how we started, and I think where we found the issues is like we struggle sometimes to explain to our client what is esports, and we said it's the best way to understand it is just to participate. And I think viewing is not enough. And I think when you play and you understand, when you're part of a Discord community, and when you are live, and when people commentate, and then when you talk to your friend, then it makes much more sense, and you get it. And I think this is kind of where we want to like bring this to our clients and to anyone who wants to understand the esports industry.
Exactly. To somewhat understand the buzz and the thrill of it, right? Like I speak to brands still, and again, understandably, who are new to the space, who still can't quite fathom how there are thousands of people who will go to these big events to watch people play video games in an arena or a stadium. But it's just that they haven't been exposed to a serious tournament, right? And understand the thrill and the buzz of it. And as Nicolo said, it's the best way to understand that. One is to watch, but two is to actually get involved. And that's what the Work from Home League is all about. So Nicolo, unless you have any other closing statements, I believe that is us, and we are ready for some questions if anyone has any. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. You want to go, Sam, please?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah, I mean, that is for sure. Well, I say that's the most difficult one. That is amongst the most difficult of challenges with it. Naturally, its first is region, right? And with it being in London, we're very UK focused primarily, or at least Europe centric focused. So with that in mind, the games were chosen, but we also have consciously made the selection of the games ones that are part of our the pillars at the start that we mentioned, right? One of which is inclusive. So we wanted games that are easy for any newcomer to at least understand and get a grasp of right away. So naturally, that somewhat rules out League of Legends and Dota, for example. That's not to say that in the future we won't include those games. And indeed, I've had a few people message me and ask about League, for example. But what we want to start is walk before we can run, right? So what we wanted to start with was as many people as possible to be able to view and participate in any of the games. So CSGO, fantastic esport, but also fairly easy to understand quite quickly. Rocket League, super simple to understand, super simple to pick up and play, incredibly hard to master, I will add. And Brawlhalla quite similarly. So yeah, I think that, Nicolo, unless you had anything to add, that's essentially our current thinking pattern for the games we choose.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think this is kind of the main thing that we look out of a game. But then there's two other things that I would like to add is fun to watch. I think is something also that I think it's very difficult to find. And I think Rocket League has been very successful because actually, a caster can do a very good job and make a lot of fun and get the attention of the the viewership. That was very good actually with FIFA. FIFA, it's so easy to understand, as there's 4 billion fans of football, so it's very easy to watch. But Rocket League, we found out that this even more because there's like a mix, also with racing. And second, and the other subject is cross-platform, is something that we are trying to work really hard on it. Because we want to give anyone the chance to participate, because we know some games have a lot of limitation, and the first one is definitely the skills that we want to try to kind of move out. So that's, League of Legends and Dota also is not just about inclusivity, it's also about the fact that if you're good, you're very, very good, and it's very difficult to master. And I think even Rocket League is difficult. I think if you train a little bit, you still have a chance, because usually it's team, you not play by yourself, you play with your colleagues. So, you can have one that's play very good, one that's play less good, but, putting together, they do a good match. So I think this is kind of also the thing I wanted just to add on the selection of games. Yeah, so yeah, I could jump really quickly on this one. So publisher, it's a case-to-case basis. So we know, for example, Valve, it's correct now from CSGO, they don't really care. So we know this from experience, and we've put actually like a note on our website that we are not officially doing this with them. Rocket League, they're since I think they're really since they're owned by Epic Game and they're really open, they also, I think it's not a big issue. And for Brawlhalla, we are in discussion with Ubisoft, and actually they want us to kind of to promote us a bit more. It's just we've been they're a huge company, so process takes a bit of time. They provide us the rules, they provide us a lot of support. They want to provide also credit because they are looking into it. Definitely, I think we've been not only the publisher, but also the tournament organizer, such as Battlefy, with the tournament admins platform. They're looking to like esports competition, and that's why they want to be involved as much as they can. But at the moment, it's a very light touch. We are obviously we notify them, but they are not like actively involved at the moment.
I mean, the best feedback you can get, right, is we want to do this again. And I don't have the exact numbers to hand, but almost every company that participated in season 2 wants to, and / most are participated in season 3, right? Obviously some things change, the games have changed at times and so on and so forth. But yeah, the feedback's been super positive. Season 1 was free for teams to participate in. Season 2, we began to charge per team slot. Everyone was completely happy and supportive of that, understand the need for us to at the least cover our costs, right? And it's at the end of the day, it's a business. But yeah, the feedback from the teams was great. I think Barclays at one point were asking if they could have 4 teams in the in the league, and we're not quite there yet, because that would be a league of just Barclays basically. So, but again, like that's great. Like that's what we want to hear, right? We want companies that participate to be talking about it internally, and to participate more and more. And as the league grows, as we were talking to earlier, we want to work with especially the major companies to help them run, or at least to help them include and involve competitive gaming into their day-to-day structures and into their team building exercises and so on. So yeah, the feedback's been super positive, and I think the fact that people want to keep participating and keep playing and also keep adding more teams, that's the best feedback we could hope for. Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, tough question, but reach for the stars, right? Like I think the growth of this, I truly do believe like the growth and the potential for this is massive. Like the fact that it hasn't been done yet kind of shocks me. And I believe that where our respective businesses are placed with platform, with the bricks and mortar, the venues, right? And that competitive socializing angle and a space for people to go to, super important part of this. And also obviously where we're positioned with ESI, like the home of esports business, the B2B events, it's a very natural addition to our services as well. But yeah, in terms of where it could get to, who knows? I mean, in terms of structures of competitive games worldwide, what Riot Games have, I'm not even a League of Legends fan whatsoever, but what Riot Games have created with the league ecosystem, competitive ecosystem worldwide, and obviously it continues to grow and is still, like, we'll look back to now and still think it's probably pretty early days, right? I'm sure in 10 years time, but with their regional leagues and the structure and pyramid of it all building up to the League of Legends World Championships, obviously not to the same scope, but that's what I would love work from home league to become, is to create that pyramid and to have the internal company competitions and then the regional competitions and then ultimately leading up to the work from home league grand finals, right? And something along those lines is where I would look at it and be pretty happy with what we've achieved, for sure. But yeah, Nicolo, over to you.
No, I think conscious of time, I think it was exactly what I wanted to say in the end. It's like more games and more people involved and to be maybe integrated to companies.
Exactly. And yeah, so to the point we talked to earlier, working more directly with the devs and publishers naturally would just be able, would allow us to fast track it and quickly expand everything we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn a sad amount, so you can find me on there very easily. I'm also on Twitter at Sam_S_Cooke. So yeah, please do reach out, and email is sam@esportsinsider.com as well.
Yeah, you can find me as well, on LinkedIn, Nicolo Portunato, very easy. And then also on Twitter, I don't know exactly my Twitter handle, but I think it's @Nicolo Portunato. But in any case, you can follow us, on @WFH League. And you can find us. We are very active on the Twitter channel.